So it's less cold now. It's about 50 degrees out. Nice little shine coming out of my top of my head. Anyways. How are you? It's February. It's freezing. Freezing cold. Still freezing cold in this room actually. I should turn down the heat this little to like 72. Hey, I need to bump it back up. Yeah. Spring is about a couple weeks away. Then it'll be summer, then it'll be fall, and I'll be back here doing everything else. So, anyways, I had a day off today. Had to get my dentist appointment for my yearly screening. Everything good, maybe floss a little, and stop by the gas station. Like, I'm always I'm a Pepsi guy. Pepsi guy through and through. And a Mountain Dew guy. And my loves Red, Code Red, and Livewire. Love. And right now I'm going to do a little bold experiment with Mountain Dew Raspberry. Now, Pepsi Cola did experiment with Pepsi Cola with the raspberry taste back 20 some odd years ago. By the way, me wearing the shirt and buying this product, which, hey, if anybody watching Pepsi Corporation's watching, hey, I'm willing to sell the shit out of this shit. It can taste like diarrhea. For the right money, I can hawk this stuff. Trust me, I have no limits. So, that being said, pure coincidental, shirt matches my drink. So, I'm going to taste it right now for the first time. Hold on. Has a nice taste, of berry taste. Actually, that's really not too bad. That's a soda connoisseur. You know what? Bolt Raspberry, you made the rotation. You passed the test. See my girl. Brittany gave up all her sold all her musical library. Good for her. I really think she makes a lot of money doing those weird IG videos. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, she's retired. She's retired at 45. She did the American dream. She worked in her teens, worked in her 20s. Had 2 bad marriages. Yeah, had a couple kids. You know, she did the American dream. Right now, she can retire to Barstow, California, and she'd be living high on the hog, so to speak. So, you know what? Good for Brittany. Because she deserves it. It's really better than some artists like Cher, who really peaked in the 80s. Then kind of fade away, had that one hit in the 90s, 99, and then just became an annoying woman forever. Or what are some those other annoying people who lingered longer? I don't know, like Coldplay or Green Day. Green Day is a perfect example. Watching the pre-game Super Bowl, they did same. I had to ask myself, does Green Day had any new music? I did actually. Had looked it up. They had like 3 or 4 albums since the American Idiot album, and it still played the fucking 3 songs from the album. Green Day's become that band who you see on the war shows, and it plays the same fucking songs. Three or four songs over and over again. Those are popular songs. Yeah, but are you really? You're trying. At least Metallica plays the same songs over and over again. They slip in some new shit every once in a while. Come on, fellas. Also, apparently Billy Joe Armstrong kind of looks like Rod Stewart. Which coincidentally, they both probably had their stomach pumped for something. I guess that's one great thing about being a mediocre pop band like Green Day. You can always dye your hair and look 20 years younger. Those guys are like in their 50s. They're old. You gotta remember, Green Day played at Woodstock 2 in 1994. They're that old. By the way, that was, 30 years ago, so I was like 8 when that happened. Memories. Actually, I don't remember. The third Woodstock is actually the pretty much better one. It is actually the better one. They look at the lineup. Amazing freaking artists. Megadeth, Metallica, Korn, Eminem, all those great bands in the late 90s. Red Hot Chili Peppers playing while Toilet Johns burn on that airfield. The magic lovely summer of 1999. Before everything went to hell. Yeah. I kind of wonder, did Y2K screwed up everything? Everything just sucks. I didn't mention a lot. Everything does suck. Everything is horrible. Horrible. God, 1999. 90s were the last great decade of freedom. I mean, sure, now you can literally get away with being so barely almost off the grid. It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to be stuck in the 90s again. No internet. No jackalls like me ranting on the internet. But there is some actually, I have to admit, the internet has been really good to, try and find some good shit, There's a lot of things in the 90s I couldn't find. Like how to get tickets to Star Trek convention. Never tried it for the longest time until like the 2010s. And like, hey, I can actually go to a Star Trek convention. Or, watch Japanese wrestling. It's one thing about being a wrestling fan, you'd be so burnt out of stuff. Oh, we've seen this shit before. But now, Japanese wrestling, or even now, just one great channel knowing about Japanese baseball history. That's interesting channel, We all have our little niches now. I got my niche here. I talk about ramble stuff. I ramble. There's a niche for Japanese baseball. There's baseball history for this. You got channels dedicated history of the pantyhose. Yeah. Sure, there's great things about the internet, but also the other awful 95% where it's mostly advertising. It's become like a newspaper. Buy my book. Buy my book. And plugging soda drinks. Because why? Well, I am a whore. So, whore for money. Anyways, I don't know. I just wanted to get on. Haven't gone on in a while. Why did I do my last video audio only? Because yeah, it was cold. It's been cold for the last couple weeks, and I didn't want to leave my bedroom. My bedroom's like pretty much the only place in my house that has a carpet until I get some carpet in here. I guess now it's a little bit more. Temperatures are going up. I can work in this room. Get nice and furnished. But one great thing about the internet, Amazon, I'm looking for the exact good, accurate measurements of I want carpet like on the shine in this room, and I need a little couch, and I need my TV on the wall. And I can do everything in this room. Yes. Also, one thing about internet now, dating apps. I'm talked to Nazan on dating apps, and I've gone a couple weeks now, like through almost 3 weeks, not using apps, dating apps. I'm kind of getting comfortable of being alone for the rest of my life. You know, it's the great thing of I don't have to worry about somebody else, but you know, I do always have that open option. I know she's watching, but who knows? But I am getting quite useful of, you know, I spent 15 years trying to replace somebody, and it's kind of nice just giving up. Giving up is actually kind of nice sometimes. Much like Megadeth. I love Megadeth, don't get me wrong, but Dave Mustaine was never going to be as big as Metallica. Unfortunately, he didn't have Lars Ulrich to do the publishing and public relationship and stuff like that. It's, you know, stuff like that. It's, you know, makes Megadeth different from Metallica, but Metallica is its own thing. So, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I want to get out here real quick. We're doing under 15 minutes. I do enjoy a good under 15-minute video. People to see, work to do. Hopefully I can get some work done later in this room, or I need to read. Anywho, so until then, play something pretty for Sally, especially in this trying time in her life. Night.